Right, what actually happened was religion became more marginalized in the sense that now we had also the supremacy of the human being, right? Human rights became something people were kind of focusing on. And so it wouldn't really fall in line with that to tell people you can't be religious, right? Because you're impinging upon their human rights. So tolerance for religion came about not because of a belief in the truth or veracity of religion, but rather, people should be free to think what they want to think. And if they want to believe in this type of mythical God that we don't believe exists, then they should be allowed to do that. That's up to them. So that was tolerated and it remained, but it was put in this corner that we call faith, right? So faith was seen as contradictory to reason. Faith was seen as contradictory to knowledge. Faith was seen as contradictory to everything where you can assert fact and truisms. So then its value then was kind of a coping mechanism, a way for people to have a sort of continuous link to their ancestors. So it was given all these kind of anthropological and sociological studies that they did of where they wanted to put religion. And unfortunately, Muslims should not deceive themselves into thinking we're not affected by this way of thinking. Indeed, we are affected by this way of thinking. And, I would submit to you that a lot of the ways that many people practice religion today, and first and foremost on that list, those people who claim to be fighting for Islam and in fact are destroying Islam from within, they are an outcome of all of that, right? They have nothing to do with tradition. They have nothing to do with transmitted knowledge. They have nothing to do with what we call isnad, right? That from one generation to the next, this is being transferred, right? Some of our scholars, they call them nabita, right? They're like weeds, because weeds just pop out, right? You didn't plant them. There's no seeds there, right? But they just pop out all over the place, and they're ugly, and they ruin your crop. They ruin your flower bed, and there's no kind of value to them, but they're a nuisance, and they're just popping up everywhere. So a lot of these groups, ISIS, Daesh, Qaeda, whatever you want to call them, all of them are outgrowth of this series of historical events and ideological developments that happened, and they come out of that, right? And one of the things that came out of that is that you can somehow get to the point where you can socially engineer societies and make them the way that you want.